It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Take a look in the 5 and 10,
glistening once again,
with candy canes and silver lanes aglow. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Okay, thanks very much, and thanks for a great. Just to, I'm using red cards. You know, you use these multicolored packs of index cards, and for us, red represents bugs. So we've always got tons of red ones left over, Chris. You'll be pleased to know, no bugs. All right. Okay, can I have a quick show of hands? Who has heard of the company called Capita? Okay. Martin, can I ask, Martin? Just can you give me some words that you can't pop into your head when you think of Capita? Try and keep it clean.
My recent experience was agonizing.
Agonizing? Okay.
Yeah.
We get words like that. You know, Capita to many people it's heavily planned, top-down, process-orientated company, public sector, and you know, that is that the correct impression? Well, in some respects it is. They do some very sort of grungy jobs for people, but actually Capita is in the top 100, is in the list of the world's top 100 innovative companies, which not many people know. And then there's us, Orbit Technology, who are part of that picture. So what I wanted to talk about today, and one of these buttons will work presumably. There you go. Just tell you a little bit about what we do, how we got there, how we got to here, and Dmitry, my colleague, is going to tell us a little bit about where we're going, some of the lessons that we've learned, because my name's Kelvin Holland. I'm a lead business analyst for the Orbit Technology Group within Capita Employee Benefits. Dmitry's one of my colleagues in the business analysis group. What do we do? Capita Employee Benefits is a multifaceted company which consults and advises big employers, large and small, on benefit packages for their employees, non-salary benefit packages. We put those together, we host them on our Orbit platform, and so that employees can go in and they can select the benefits that they want. So to ride to work, private medical insurance, pension, you name it, anything that counts. And so that's, you know, what our apps tend to look like, lots of things. Our team is about 65 people. We're split into 4 development teams. We're cross-functional teams. We have developers, UX developers, QA devs, business analyst, stroke product owner, database developer, DevOps, all in the team. We use Scrum, TDD, pair programming. We're looking to hit about 500,000 users on our platform next year. The system lives in about 1.6 million lines of code. It's quite a large system, and it runs in a private cloud with about 75 virtual servers at any one time. They're always coming up and going down. How did we come to be part of Capita? Well, Capita acquired Orbit Technology about just over 2 years ago. I joined the company around about that time, and we've learned to get along quite well, and we've earned quite a lot of support from Capita because we're delivering, we're using Scrum, we're using Agile techniques to deliver solutions, and they like that. The reason that we adopted Scrum in the first place was that we grew very rapidly from less than a dozen to more than 50 people in less than 2 years. So we had to scale up what was a very close and agile team to something that worked across many, many developers. And some of the lessons that we've learned along the way, I'm going to hand over to Dmitry to talk about what he does. And it's a kind of a microcosm of what we're learning and how we're learning to live with our big parent. Okay.
Green cards.
Green cards.
All BDD on the back. So what I'm going to talk about is the product support team within Capita. So product support team, we fix the existing infrastructure. We don't really do a lot of project work as in putting a lot of new code out, but we're trying to refactor the existing code and really minimize any manual work that other teams do. So when I joined the team, it was a bit of a developer's graveyard, I could probably call it. So there was one product owner, 2 developers, and 1 quality assurance. And the product owner generally told them what work they were going to do and when it was done. And if they came across any problems, the answer was, well, we have to do it and it has to get done. So, you know, sort it out, whatever that meant, working your lunch, work overnight, but it has to get out to the client. So that's where we were sort of 9 months ago. So I kind of broke down what we did, and these are the findings. So when I started, we found that stories themselves or the requirements were very prescriptive in the team. So it was, we need to fix a problem and it needs to be fixed like this, you know, which is, we know doesn't work in Agile. And now as a team, so as business analyst team, we elaborate the stories early, we sit with the business, we find out what the problem is, and we try and give an outline of what we think we might need to do, but we try not to be too prescriptive with it. So we say, here's the problem, here's maybe a range of solutions. And what we set up was story elaboration sessions with the team. So I think, Kelvin, you have 3 a week. I have 2, other teams vary, it depends sort of the work that they go through. So in the elaboration sessions, the whole team sit down, we go through the stories, we talk through what the business analyst has already written down in that team, and we go, right, this is the problem, what are the potential solutions? How are we going to QA it? You know, what automated tests can we write for it? Is there already an automated test that we could reuse? And in those sessions, we also then do points. So before, stories weren't really estimated, we didn't know relative complexity. So now we sort of slowly introduced it with, well, is this story bigger than that story? You know, is changing the text on this page bigger than rewriting the page? You know, we went through a few sprints and then we slowly turned small, medium, large into, well, that's 5 points, that's 13 points, that's 20, I don't know. So in those sessions, hands up, anyone uses planning poker cards? Oh, look at that. Well, everyone knows. I'm very strict on planning poker. If anyone puts one face up, like, they get a good telling off. So they're always down, 3, 2, 1, turn. You know, anyway, that's why I went over. And what happened before, in this kind of leading into the first point, so planning, the team used to get told what to do and what stories needs to be done in the sprint. So through the elaboration, the work that BAs now do and the team now do, we get the points and we can then say, okay, after a few sprints, we average 60 to 70 points in the sprint. So we can now plan effectively, as long as we've pre-groomed all the stories. The planning sessions run really quick. We come in, okay, they're all ready to play, let's take 60 points worth. And we could start having the conversation with our product owner, who always wanted everything done, to say, well, you know, we've got 60 seats on an aeroplane, you know, how do you want to fill them? You know, 61's too much, but we might try and chuck them in with the luggage afterwards if we've got time, but, you know, 60 points is what we stick to. And now, you know, we've had some really good results. How am I doing for time? Oh no, that's a blank card. Oh, okay, well, I'll slow down. And we're finally getting that message back to the business. So one of the problems we had was the product owner made all the choices, and then people in the business would come to her and say, oh, hey, can I have this story in? No. But now we can't have this story in because we can only do 60 points, and the 60 points of stories are these. We haven't started this segment, so maybe you can take one of those out and replace it? Why don't you speak either in the user forum or speak to this person? And basically everything's less complicated because we sort of say, well, talk amongst yourselves, and tell us what we want to do. We'll help you with the decisions. We can talk about the technicalities of it, but that's been, I think, one of the key points that we've got across from this. One of the things that sprints used to be about was getting things developed. So although we have now 4 developers in the team, 2 quality assurance, 1 UX guy, 1 DB guy, a business analyst, it always used to be about picking up stories, starting developing, and as long as the development's done, that's a successful sprint. But if we don't deploy anything at the end of the 2 weeks, we still had a good sprint. But as we all know, it's all about getting stories done. So there was a real cultural shift to a developer turn around and say, well, I've got nothing else new to pick up. But what have we got in the QA column? And that tended to be the backlog. And I said, oh, okay. So now we've got developers that help write the tests initially because they might not want to get to that stage of picking up for QA later. Oh, you said I had ages. So anyway, getting stuff done. 60, 70 points were predictable. We used to have weekly releases, they're now 2 weekly. It was just too much. We couldn't deal with it. And one of the things that we're doing now is showcases. So with the product support team, because we're the team that fixed stuff, we never had showcases before, and now we've got one coming up, and it's a real big shift, and it's taken months. But people were saying, well, actually your product support, no one cares what you do. But actually, once we do a few showcases, people go, oh, okay, so that's why that's working. Or that's why I can't get my report done because this is done. And it's promoting that communication between us, the business, and gives us a bit of focus. And of course, retrospectives. So my retrospective is I took too long. But yeah, we now have regular retrospectives in the team, and I think that works really well. So that's 9 months in 5 minutes.
That you sing right within your